Well, what do you know?
Would you look at that?
Would you look at that?
Welcome to Backlot 605, episode 19. I am Casey,
I'm Brian.
and with us again is Chris.
Glad to be here.
He's glad to be here. Why are you glad to be here?
Captain Marvel, man.
Yeah, that's what we're going to talk about today.
It's
Captain Frickin' Marvel.
You mean Shazam?
No, Marvel. That one. Yes.
2 words.
Yes.
2 words.
With the dash in there. So, yes, that is our main topic of today.
I did like that too. Anyway, yes.
Yes.
That is our main topic.
It's Captain Marvel.
It's Captain
They're gonna-
Marvel?
They're going to call it Captain Marvel. So.
Marvelettes.
Yeah. So yeah, that'll be our main discussion. We'll spoil the crap out of that. So if you haven't listened to it, or watched the movie yet, sorry.
Have you listened to it?
No. If you haven't watched the movie yet, go watch it first. I mean, you're probably one of 10 people in the United States that hasn't watched it, based on our box office. But if you haven't, go watch it first, then come back.
I'm literally like an hour out of that movie. So
Yeah, you got it fresh.
Fresh.
I'm way fresh.
Really fresh. Just like this movie's Rotten Tomato score. Fresh.
Is it certified fresh or is it just fresh?
Certified.
Certified.
Certified. So, let's jump into the box office, because what came in at number 1 this week? Shocker, Captain Marvel just blowing everything else out of the water, not only for this weekend, but for the year overall in general, pulling in over 150 million opening weekend. That's some big money.
Who would have thunk that?
Who would have thunk a Marvel movie following Avengers Endgame would make that, or Avengers Infinity War, excuse me,
Right?
would make that much money?
It didn't follow that.
It followed Infinity War.
No. Keep going.
Fucking Ant-Man. I forget that even happened. I'm not the biggest fan of that one.
Fuck you.
I'm not. It's meh.
Paul Rudd, Ant-Man, sold.
Yes,
he
is.
He's my dude.
Yeah, but like I've said a million times to you before, Brian, I wanted the entire movie just be Paul Rudd locked in his house, and that's the movie. Playing drums. Anyway, Captain Marvel coming in at number 1. No surprise here at all.
No, not at all. Not at all.
No, but does bring up something really big, I think, for kind of the way these fucking nerds on the internet, which eventually we can kind of brush over them, but it pulled in $150 million its opening weekend. It's pretty obvious female-led superhero movies can make some damn money.
You think?
Yeah, and be good.
Yeah, exactly.
7th highest for the MCU for opening weekend.
It's going to get into that top 5 for sure.
Oh, easy.
At least. Top 3. Maybe by the end. No, Avengers comes out too close to it.
Yeah.
I think before it get to that top 3. But no, it's going to get in that top 5 for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Number 2, How to Train Your Dragon 3. Sticking around, pulling in $14.6 million in its second week out.
Third week
out, excuse me.
Dude, it says right
Small print, I can't read.
there. You can't read anyway.
I can't read anyway, so yeah. I mean, no surprise for this one sticking around. It's the only other really big movie that's still in the theaters. That's
Pretty much anything this weekend is we went to this movie because we didn't have the time or we weren't going to go see Captain Marvel.
exactly.
That's basically it. I mean, anything to have it even pull in almost 15 million, I think was pretty strong for the week, for who it's up against, for, knowing it's going to get dethroned.
Tyler Perry's Medea Family Funeral, number 3, with $12 million this weekend. The final film in the Medea franchise, I guess. Sure.
You and
For now.
I was going to say, you and I will agree to disagree with that when you were saying about, oh yeah, they're done. I'm like, Tyler Perry will keep making Medea movies until he can keep not making them anymore.
I'm just going on what he said, and what he said right now is he's done as Medea.
Yeah.
I just saw an interview, though, with him. He might be doing a prequel with someone else playing Medea. Fuck.
I told you.
Lego Movie.
That took you, 2 weeks?
Yeah. Lego Movie 2, the second part, pulling in that number 4 spot, $3.8 million. And then Alita Battle Angel rounding out the top 5, $3.2 million.
Not too bad.
No. That's pretty much the same people that would go watch Captain Marvel. That's why it's so low.
Well, just looking at these here, also they took out like about a fifth of the theaters too. So they dropped about 700 theaters. But you're right. The the common the common customer is what's gonna go see Captain Marvel. So I mean, hey, the fact that it only took a 55% hit, it's actually not that bad.
No, it's people who's showing for Captain Marvel sold out too fast. They're like, well, we're here. Let's go watch Alita. Let's go watch Lego Movie.
Let's go check out Medea.
Let's go check out Tyler Perry's Medea.
Mama Medea.
Yeah, so big story of the week for the box office, Captain Marvel.
Shocker.
Shocker. Let's jump into the news, though. We got another superhero-ish trailer that we got to talk about. This is the second trailer for Brightburn. So what did you guys think of it?
I haven't had a chance to watch it.
Oh, you haven't watched it yet?
I only just learned. Well, it came out. I'm like, I need to watch that, and then life happened.
Are you sold on the movie already?
Dude, I was sold on the first trailer. I don't need another trailer. For me, it's one of those movies.
Don't watch it then. I think it shows a lot of I don't think it repeats anything really from the first trailer. Mm-hmm. So it shows you a lot. It's almost 3 minutes long. So,
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. It's a fantastic trailer. If they would have started with this one, I would have been just as sold. But it shows more of what this kid's going to do in this movie.
Mm.
And
Which is not good.
No. So basically, the evil Superman story.
It's a horror movie
It
from James Gunn. No,
It ramps up that horror in this.
horror.
The thing I didn't like, and this is more for the marketing side, and I know why they're doing it, is James Gunn's name is all over this movie.
Yep.
He's only producing the damn movie. He didn't write it. It's not his story. It's not directing. It's because they want to throw the Guardians name out at it.
I was going to say that. Who's the studio behind it?
Now I'd have to look that up.
Because here's my thought is, and I could be explicitly wrong, but it's like, if it's anywhere in that same, yes, they're pulling the Guardians thing, but at the same time too, who is it?
Stage 6 Films, Troll Court Entertainment, and the H Collective. Distributed by Sony Pictures Releasing.
Oh,
Yeah, so Sony.
So Sony is the one I was looking for. So that kind of goes against what I was thinking, because the first thing I thought is if this had anything to do with like Warner Brothers or anything like that, you kind of push the name so that they could pull in for Suicide Squad too.
Yeah, I guess.
I'm saying if that had been the case.
I think it's literally they know what they're doing with the marketing right now.
Oh, yeah.
Throwing out that James Gunn
Oh yeah.
Guardians name. But I give some credit to the damn director then. Mm-hmm. Like James probably wasn't on set at all for this movie. If very much. So it's I mean it's one of his guys directing it, which is awesome. But I don't know. It's just a minor nitpicky thing for this movie.
Because you said this is the one he wrote, right?
Who? He's just producing.
He's just on producer.
He's just producing. Two of his brothers are writers on Brightburn.
Yep.
I don't know. It's just something little nitpicky that I get why his name's on it. I just wish they would give a little more credit to everybody else that's actually written and directed the movie.
Yep.
They changed it to H Collective? Interesting.
Let's jump to another teaser trailer that we got. Did you guys watch this one, Midsummer?
For a horror movie, it's very bright.
Very bright.
Yeah.
It's very anti-horror movie-ish look, but it is kind of disturbing looking all at the same time.
Yeah, so Midsummer, directed by Ari Aster, who directed the breakout hit Hereditary last year. It stars Florence Pugh. Is that how you pronounce it?
Pretty sure.
Okay. And Will Poulter. So it's got a pretty decent young cast. And yeah, as Brian said, this is the brightest horror movie you're going to see in a long time. Mm-hmm. It's not going to be bright in content, though. I can already tell.
No, and that's probably I think that's going to be a good thing. You need to turn the script a little bit on any genre for every once in a while, and not every horror movie has to have a dark tone in terms of the color palette. Like, this is very whites and brights and colors and yellows and stuff like that, and you're like, this is going to get very red and bloody, but
yes, it's going to get very dark and disturbing. Mm-hmm. It's about a frickin' pagan cult, so
It's a cult?
yeah.
Yes.
Okay, because I just watched the trailer and I was like, what the fuck is this about?
Yeah. You guys haven't watched Hereditary yet,
No.
right?
No.
one of my favorite movies of last year, and that movie will fuck you up, and I hope this movie does the same.
So what you're saying is Chris will never watch that movie.
Probably won't.
Chris, would you watch Midsummer, though?
I don't know. I'm not a horror guy. So.
Yeah.
He's over here going, just because it's bright and colorful doesn't mean it's going to be
Not
less
gonna
scary.
make you poop your pants, so I get it. I get it. Moving to another horror-ish product. That is Morbius, the living vampire, coming next year from Sony Pictures. The next part in their Spider-Man, non-Spider-Man universe.
Their non-Spider-Man universe, that's correct.
Yeah, so
SUMC. That's what they're calling it.
What are they calling it?
SUMC.
S-U-M-C.
Sony Universe of Marvel Characters.
oh,
The
that's
fucking horrible
stupid.
name.
Yes,
Yep. That might even be worse than the DCEU, and they never even adopted that
that's
one.
worse than the Dark Universe.
Yeah, that's probably the worst.
Yeah. Anyway, the big news on that from the week is Tyrese Gibson joins the cast of Morbius.
Now, is this big news, though?
I don't know. I thought for you it would be big news. You Fast and Furious nerd.
Okay, yes.
He's got to do something besides that franchise once in a while.
Not according to the rant he had when he was going off, a year and a half ago. That was his shit, man. They were there. I don't know. I don't know if I could have ever pictured Tyrese Gibson in a comic book style type movie. Like, it's not his normal.
Really?
No.
I think he fits that type of movie perfectly. Those popcorn type of, he's going to spew some one-liners as he's chasing Morbius.
Oh, that will definitely be the case.
Yeah.
But honestly, for what he has done, like the Fast and Furious has been like the most popcorny-ish in his catalog. I think of his John Singleton's Baby Boy, where he, when he's in Annapolis, stuff like that. This is Fast and Furious is the most popcorn he's ever really been.
Transformers?
We don't talk about Transformers.
Do you get more popcorn than those two franchises, though?
We don't talk about Transformers. Unless it's Bumblebee.
Unless it's both. But yeah, he was in Fast and Furious. He was in the Transformers movie, so...
I kind of forgot about that one.
Hasn't everyone now?
Wow, doesn't that literally just take the complete air out of my argument?
No.
That's alright.
I get what you mean. This is his first comic book franchise.
Yes.
So I'm surprised it took this long for him to end up in one, though.
People wanted him to be Green Lantern.
He wanted to
to be Green Lantern more than anyone else, I think.
That's true.
Now, that one I could actually seen.
No.
Why not?
Because I have someone else for Green Lantern, and we're going to be talking about him next.
Oh,
Hint.
boy.
But they also released from Jared Leto's Twitter that the first image from Morbius.
Yeah, I like that. There's like, the first teaser, I'm like, what the fuck?
It's him behind the clapper board for the movie
Yeah.
with long black hair.
I like your response was, yeah, in typical Leto fashion. I'm like, nope, you're right.
Yeah. So typical Jared Leto fashion that this is, I don't know, it doesn't give anything away for this
No,
movie.
there's nothing, just other than the fact that they are currently filming.
I'm excited for this movie, though.
I'm excited. I like the idea of Leto being a vampire.
I'm pretty sure he already is, so that helps. He can go method with it because he's already a vampire. But I think this is a much better fit than Joker.
That would explain why he doesn't really age.
Exactly.
I
Him
mean,
and Paul Rudd are part of this vampire cult in Hollywood. I'm pretty sure of it.
Leto is probably the one on the top of the rung.
Yeah. But this is a much better fit for him. Morbius is a much darker Marvel character. He can go... I hope they go R-rated with it. I don't know if they are.
It's Sony. It's possible. I mean, they
Venom was supposed to be in.
they got dark with Venom and gave him what he needed. So
Yeah. I think it's a movie about a vampire. You kind of got to go R-rated.
mm-hmm.
Especially with like his entire storyline. It's an R-rated storyline. Which is weird coming from a Spider-Man villain, but here's the question though. Do you want to see one, either it connect to Venom at all, or do you want to see eventually both of those connect with the overall MCU?
I don't want either of them in the MCU at all. So
No.
Do you want them to connect together?
I think what they need to do, I think if Sony's going to be smart about this, because we already know their track record, and that is just to let them be standalone, kind of like the Aquaman, the the Shazam, they're in the same universe. There may be a litter of some Easter eggs, but don't mix them. Don't mix them. I mean, Sony, I think, will shoot themselves in the foot if they try to go all Universal dark, go Dark Universe again.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. No, they just need to just let it be its own thing.
What I can see is Venom very much had like a 90s comic book vibe to it.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean. It would have fit more with like Blade or X-Men, that era. And I think that kind of fits better for the character of Morbius. Being more of a tone of Blade than MCU. That's what I think they need to go for.
So then at that point, let's reboot Blade and let's put Morbius in him.
Well, that's the only reason I'd want them to cross over, so we can eventually get those two to fight each other. But
as long as Wesley Snipes comes back as Blade.
Absolutely, we need that to happen.
Except for that whole, he looks way too old to be Blade now.
Psh, they can just say he's 400 years old at that time.
What about John Boyega? He himself is championed about becoming Blade.
Nope.
No? Why not?
Nope.
Why
I
not?
don't think he fits that character at all. No, I don't think he can. I don't know if he can pull it off.
All you are picturing is a fucking stormtrooper right now.
Yes. And I don't want... No. I've seen Boyega and other things.
Such as
Attack the Block. I only watched the previews for Pacific Rim. Because bleh. But I can't see it. I can't.
I enjoyed Pac Rim, so you know what?
Pac Rim 2.
Yeah, Pac Rim 2.
Yeah.
Up resin.
For me, Blade, I think you could go like... who am I trying to think of? Shit.
Tyrese Gibson.
I'm sure he would want that. I don't know. I kind of want someone big to play Blade and make him a big character. I don't know.
Michael B. Jordan.
I could see Michael, but he's already in the MCU.
Yeah.
He's dead in the MCU.
Yeah. If you're gonna go really big, I would go Mahershala Ali for Blade. Do it.
Oh, that would
like
work.
Yeah.
I like that.
I like it.
Yeah. Blade, Oscar-nominated movie. Boom, right there. All it takes, you gotta just throw Mahershala in it. So.
Yeah, he's only got 2 Oscar nominations underneath his belt. Why not, right?
Another guy that could have played Blade at some point, Idris Elba. He has been cast and replacing Will Smith as Deadshot in Suicide Squad 2.
Is it confirmed cast? Because the one that I read was that they were eyeing him to replace Will Smith.
All but confirmed by Warner Brothers. So it's pretty much locked at this point.
I'm on the fence. I like the character Deadshot. I don't want Deadshot to go away. But at the same time, too, Will Smith absolutely killed it. He was one of the shining stars of a messed up movie. And I don't know if I want to see somebody else to the point where it'd be like, since the Suicide Squad is a type of entity that you can interchange characters easily, and it still makes sense, is just have it be somebody else. A different character. Bring in Idris, be a different character, and then if they do make a Suicide Squad 3 or they do something else with Deadshot and Will Smith is free, give him his character and move on to the next one.
Yeah, I'm in the same vein as you there. Like, Suicide Squad has hundreds of characters you can pull in. Like, there's so many characters that you can use. So why dip back into that same pool and take Deadshot of all the characters? Like, if Will Smith doesn't want to come back, okay, you can fit anyone else into that spot.
Yeah, it's literally a jigsaw puzzle with infinite amount of pieces.
Yeah. I mean, I think Deadshot's pretty much the only one confirmed from the original movie that's coming back.
Harley Quinn?
Supposedly Harley, too.
And possibly Harley Quinn, but she's got fucking 15 other movies she's supposed to be in, too.
Well, yeah, because Warner Brothers is like, you like this character? We like this character. Here's some money, and let's make this movie, and 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 you can't go make any other movies.
Yeah. I hate that model. They have no idea what they're doing yet.
No.
It's hilarious.
What, Warner Brothers?
No. No idea. No. James Gunn is going to be taking over the franchise. I've seen some of the characters that are probably going to be in there. I like it.
We'll have an even cooler soundtrack.
Hopefully it fits a little better. Because Suicide Squad was a fucking mess.
Well, the movie was a mess.
Soundtrack inside the movie was a fucking mess, too.
Oh, yeah.
It didn't fit at all. No. We'll talk about that in our main discussion too.
Oh my god, that soundtrack.
Yeah, we'll talk about that.
Yes.
Yep.
So, any other final thoughts on Idris as Deadshot?
I'd rather they interchange out a character.
Know what character they are probably going to introduce? King Shark, and I fucking love King Shark.
Nice.
Okay, so if they do that, all I say is do a better shot at doing King Shark than what their Killer Croc was, because Killer Croc was a little goofy ass looking, kind of like they could have done so much more with his, like,
Brian, that's how they won their Oscar.
Yeah,
though.
that's where the Oscar came from.
Suicide Squad Academy Award winning for best makeup and hairstyling because of that fucking Killer Croc.
Uh-huh.
no.
That's why they
It's
won,
the truth.
unfortunately.
Don't deny it.
And I love Killer Croc. Killer Croc is fucking cool.
He looks so wimpy when he took
he
off
looks
the
bad.
clothes.
Yeah, he looks bad.
Like when he was just, when it was like the whole upper chest thing, that's what bothered me. Like he had like no like build to him. That was my issue.
Idris Elba is Killer Croc.
I could
Boom.
go for that.
Boom.
But the problem is that the guy that they actually have playing Killer Croc has the build for it, and it's like the makeup made it look like it not. Because he's the one that was, Roadblock in fucking G.I. Joe. I can't think of his name. He's got an unpronounceable name.
Adewale Akinoye Abaje.
Yeah, that guy.
He pronounced it all right, Brian.
I have problems with words.
What was he? Or G.I. Joe?
Yeah, he was Roadblock or whatever the case is. But yeah, he's in the first G.I. Joe.
Heavy duty.
Heavy duty.
G.I. Joe. We don't talk about those movies, though.
Yes, we do.
Anyway, let's
Joseph
jump.
Gordon-Levitt is Cobra Commander.
I can't with those movies. So, big news from Disney and their Disney Plus streaming service. They will be having the entire Disney library available on it once it releases.
They're retiring the vault, which is huge.
That fucking vault.
However, I was reading some of the Reddit comments on this, and I'm curious as to see how this plays out, because, they say they're retiring the vault and everything from the library will be available. I'm calling bullshit. There will be one movie missing.
Yep.
Song of the South will be missing.
Yes, it will. Yeah, that one won't be on there.
That one will not show up. And if it does, some programmer just got fired.
Yeah. I was going to bring that up, but yes, they're not going to have that on there.
No.
So, yeah, it gets rid of the entire vault, which is, as you said, really big. You don't have to fucking worry about waiting 20 years for a movie to be available again.
The part that I got a kick out of some of the Reddit comments I was reading about this was, the vault was created essentially for Disney to help control the supply and demand. They were able to control their revenue streams. And, to me, Disney always seems to be the one who's technology forward. Like, obviously, before Movies Anywhere created, it was Disney Movies Anywhere. It was just themselves and their product were basically saying, hey, you want a digital copy? What store do you want it on? You lock it on all the stores, kind of thing. And I think Disney Plus is just that next evolution of Disney, where they're like, the vault doesn't make sense anymore. Because with digital and, the vaults or no vaults, you're going to have your movie available to you for the next, whatever. Mm-hmm. So I think they're just probably like, what's the point? Let's figure out a way. If we make the entire vault available, it's going to entice people to go for the streaming service. Mm-hmm. I mean, if it wasn't me going, you've already got my money. Well, bitch, you just confirmed another reason for me to have my money.
I'm in.
Yeah.
With the whole, every single Disney movie ever going to be on this, is there any chance they're going to have anything on Netflix, Hulu anymore?
I think they have a stake in Hulu
Yeah.
because of the Fox deal.
Well, they had even before the merger, Hulu was ABC, NBC, Fox, and so ABC and Disney already have a little bit of a mutual partnership anyway.
Disney owns ABC.
Right. Yeah, like I said, a little partnership. So, having them buy into the whole Fox thing gives them controlling factor into Hulu. So I agree with Chris. I still think that Hulu will still be an option for them. Because that's where I seen like they were talking about like New Mutants possibly being a Hulu movie. But I've also heard of possibly going to Disney Plus now though too. So no, I don't think it's going to kill it because there's too much stake. I agree with Chris. There's too much stake in Hulu for them just to be like, oh, fuck it.
I think Netflix, it's as soon as this goes, everything will pretty much be wiped off Netflix for Disney.
But Netflix doesn't have to worry about it though.
No,
That'll be fine.
they're working on their own shit right
Yeah,
now.
exactly.
They don't care.
Yeah.
The whole Hulu thing, I think it will be more of that ABC Fox TV stuff will stay on the Hulu. I think pretty much everything for the movie side will probably go to the Disney Plus. Mm-hmm. And that Fox Disney thing isn't finalized yet.
No,
It's basically done though.
I don't think it will. I don't think it's going to follow through.
Why not?
It's too big of a company for Disney to take over for how much they
The
own
FCC
already.
has already approved it. The Federal Trade Commission the government has
Still
already
don't-
allowed it to go through.
I hate that. I fucking hate that so much.
The government has already said that there's no antitrust issues.
But there's like the fucking Disney monopolizing entertainment and TV and movies in general by taking that over.
Yeah, but you do realize
hate that.
there's other entities and other things that they had to do in order to be able to acquire what they were acquiring. They're not getting everything.
No, but what are they getting from? They're getting the television and movie.
And
part.
that's it though. But Fox is more than that. Like they don't get any of the Fox News, they don't get any of the Fox Sports.
No, I don't think that would fit Disney's agenda right now.
The Fox, I know, right? The Fox investment that they had in Sky Network in Europe, they had to divest that. There's all sorts of a bunch of divesting that they have to do in order to be able to acquire the stuff that they need to acquire.
Yeah.
And it's the exact same reason why we ended up with like AT&T here in South Dakota, is because of when like when Verizon bought up all the shit and whatnot. There's a bunch of stuff they had to divest and whatnot in order for them to be able to allow for it to happen in the state of South Dakota.
If it does happen, I hate it. I do. Okay, we're gonna get the X-Men and into the MCU. Fucking who cares? Like it creates fucking monopolization, and I hate that. Disney already owns too much shit as it is, and then them owning everything, everything else within the Fox TV and movie. That's just one. There's only gonna be one place to go for a job now. You gotta work for fucking Disney, and then if Disney says fuck you, you're screwed.
Now, see, here's the other thing that this will be my other rebuttal to you, though, is that of the four main networks, I remember when we first got Fox in Sioux Falls when I was a kid, when KTTW was just a little thing here. And, yes, Fox has a bit of a stake now. But it's nothing comparative if Disney was buying NBC or if they were buying CBS or anything like that. If it's any of that other, or if they bought Warner Brothers or if they bought any of these Paramount or anything like that. Fox, yeah, it has its catalog, it has its momentum, but it's nothing comparative to some of the other 600-pound gorillas in the industry.
I think it's still one of the top 5 film studios out there.
It is. Yep.
And if Disney's taking over another one, they're gonna have fucking monopolization over everything else.
I just looked. So the last 5 years, if you combine Disney and Fox share of the box office, it's at least 30%. Every single year for the last 5 years, those two combined.
But that's still only 30%.
It's a pretty big number.
But the thing is, though, is that the top studio of the last 5 years hasn't really cracked like 20%, that bunch. So
They're only gaining maybe 10%.
that's a lot of money, though. That's
It's a lot of money. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I will be the devil's advocate and saying I'm completely okay with this.
Yeah.
I am actually okay with it too. The one thing I'm not necessarily okay with is the Fantastic Four and X-Men, which might be kind of surprising since I'm a big MCU guy. But I think they already have enough that they can go on for at least the next phase.
Oh, as far as nerd side goes, I think X-Men needs to stay its own thing. X-Men has way too many characters to be brought into the MCU. Fantastic Four needs the MCU, which I wish they would have just bought those characters back outright. But anyway, I'll get off this topic. It just fucking sucks 4,000 people lose their job. Here comes some big news I like because it involves Nicolas Cage. So during that Disney shareholders meeting, they had mentioned that National Treasure 3 might come back. It might get its end of the trilogy.
Nick Cage.
Nicolas Cage finally stealing his Oscar or something. I don't know. Fuck, I don't know.
He's gonna steal that. He's gonna go steal that dinosaur skull back from.
Crossover with Jurassic Park.
Wrong,
Nice.
wrong one. But I get where you're going with there.
Disney's going to own it all eventually anyway. So, what do you guys think about this?
I'm in.
I enjoyed the first two.
Yep.
Give me a reason to go, and if you give me a good enough story, as popcorn as it will be, because I still to this day always remember everybody talking about the whole like flyover of Mount Rushmore to see the lake in the background, and everybody thinking, oh, that's such a cool shot. When you realize that lake is like 50 miles away,
Yep.
and that was definitely
Not right behind it.
every South Dakota person's like, fuck, that ain't fucking real.
We were just more happy that we were in a movie, I think.
Right?
Yeah. I the first two movies I think are freaking awesome popcorn.
They're entertaining.
Perfect entertainment movies.
They're definitely the popcorn movie that Nick Cage needed.
Yes, and still needs. It's a much better version of the Tom Hanks Da Vinci movies.
Way better. way better.
Don't take themselves too seriously, yet take all their historical stuff and make it fit their story. I love it.
Yep.
So other Disney news we got, and I know you guys are excited
So
about
is this
this
like a Disney episode?
It's a Disney episode.
Am I on the right episode here?
I mean, they're going to own everything eventually, so every episode will be a Disney episode. Maleficent gets a release date, official title, and a new poster.
And I love the Reddit comments on this one too, because with it being the subtitle being the Mistress of Evil, all the Redditors are like, didn't she like stop being evil at the end of the first one? That was kind of what the point of the movie was.
Yeah.
So it's like, did she become evil again now, or
Evil.
evil?
Yes.
No, this isn't Cruella de Vil.
No, not yet. Well, that fucking movie's going to have the same exact plot. I don't get why. Anyway, so this one will be titled Mistress of Evil. We'll get it here in October of this year.
Are they filming or something?
Of what?
already? This movie. Maleficent 2?
I'm sure they're probably done filming going into post right now.
Yeah.
Oh, they are done?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say it comes out then.
End of this year.
This year.
That's what I was going to say, because I
October.
didn't think they had started filming yet. And so this release date 6 months away, I was like, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
He's like, oh shit, I know what Bree's gonna want to go see.
We'll get a trailer, first trailer probably right around Aladdin. That's what I'm assuming.
Yeah, probably.
May.
Either that or maybe even during Endgame.
Or Dumbo.
Possibly. Or Dumbo. There's so many of these damn live action movies now.
I know, right?
Okay, do you guys feel we needed this sequel?
Nope.
No.
Okay, we're all in agreement in that.
Made a shit ton of money. That's why it's getting it.
It did, yep. And people love Angelina Jolie as
That's why I'm surprised we haven't gotten Jungle Book 2 yet, and they haven't already greenlit Lion King 2 yet.
Jungle Book 2 is supposed to be next, because Jon Favreau is going to move on to that ASAP. Once Lion King's done.
Well, once he's gets done doing his Star Wars too.
Well, that's done filming, isn't it? Season 1?
I don't know.
I think it is.
of Mandalorian.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's done.
John Favreau, he's just like, oh, Disney, you want to pay me some more money? Bring it on.
Yeah.
Got some Infinity War and Endgame money too, so.
Yeah, that the Jungle Book movies probably take a little while to make. It's a lot of CGI you got to work on.
CGI.
Live action.
Oh,
It's
yeah, you gotta
live
train-
action.
It takes a lot of time to train those fucking tigers and bears.
Lions and tigers and bears, oh my.
Oh my, yeah. This is one we do not need. Same goes with I didn't throw the Cruella de Vil shortlist casting thing in there either, but I don't feel we need that movie. Who's excited for it?
What? Oh, what? Cruella de Vil?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Emma Stone.
That depends. It depends on how Emma Stone, turns out with that.
I feel it's gonna.
I
Be
like
the
me some
exact
Emma
same-
Stone.
I do too. I think she's one of the best actresses out there today. We don't need it.
I didn't say we didn't need it, but I'm saying that if they're going to make it,
They're going to take the exact same Maleficent story and just take the fantasy elements out of it, and it's going to be the exact same thing. Like, oh, she's not actually evil and wearing dog skin.
not yet.
Not yet. It's her origin to evil.
Right? Exactly.
Yeah.
She's Cruella. She's not the evil yet.
Yeah. Just bring back Glenn Close if you're going to do it.
de-age her. It's not like, Disney doesn't have a
Yeah.
great de-aging process.
You got the tech.
Yeah. Give Glenn Close her Oscar for playing Cruella de Vil, finally.
Right?
Yeah. Make it happen, Disney.
Make it happen.
The only reason I'd like it if it's a straight up prequel to 101 and 102 Dalmatians.
Isn't that the fucking point?
No, like the live action version of that. The original live action Disney movies.
Oh, Jesus. The
Yeah.
live-action Dalmatian movies.
Yeah. You don't like those? Jeff Daniels?
They're pretty good.
They came out at a time when I'm like, why the fuck am I... No. So I've never seen them.
Oh.
And never had any interest.
I watched them more than the original cartoons. Granted, it was probably the time I grew up in.
Yeah, I was going to say,
But-
you grew up when those were the thing, whereas, my generation was the animated ones.
Yeah. So,
My old ass.
But now you're 100% on the live action movies from Disney.
Depends on the movie.
Okay. So why don't you go back and watch those? I
Uh-huh.
think you should. They
Because,
actually have real dogs in them.
well, I know. I
I'm
know.
going to CGI the dog.
CGI the dog. They're not going to CGI the cat.
No. So let's talk about CGI cats. We're going to talk about Captain Marvel.
You like that segue there?
I saw the segue coming and I grabbed it and I ran with it. Captain Marvel, we got the chance to watch it this weekend.
Yes.
And we're going to spoil the crap out
It
of
is super fresh in my brain.
All right. Who wants to start it off with their overall thoughts?
Enjoyable. To me, it was the superhero Top Gun.
Yeah,
Lots of Top Gun references.
Right?
there was.
Beat you over the head with it.
I mean, come on, flight school and all that stuff. I mean, it was. I was waiting for Tom Cruise to pop out somewhere.
I'm waiting for fucking Kenny Loggins' Danger Zone to start playing. I was pissed that they didn't play.
You
Honestly.
couldn't. Wrong decade.
Why?
What?
Huh?
Kenny Loggins' Danger Zone is the song from Top Gun.
Yeah. What year did Top Gun come out?
80s.
Yeah, exactly. When's this movie take place?
In the 90s.
Exactly.
So
The
they
entire.
were,
what I'm saying is the
I don't
entire
get what you're getting
soundtrack.
at.
The soundtrack. The absolute amazing soundtrack.
we're going to disagree on that.
Yep. I'm gonna have to agree with Casey.
Fuck you both.
Well-
you guys, half those songs came out before you were born.
So,
So, on that note, no, that's what I'm saying. You can't have Danger Zone come throwing in here because that thing is completely littered from beginning to end with 90s music.
it's also littered with Top Gun references, so it would have fit perfectly with that part.
I do have a complaint though.
What's the complaint?
So when she's at the very end, she's with the Supreme Intelligence and what was it? Was it the Teen Spirit song? The Nirvana song?
Yes.
It was,
Teen Spirit?
no, it wasn't Teen Spirit. It was,
Come As You Are.
Yeah, Come As You Are.
Yeah.
Whatever. That came out in 94, 96 or something like that. So someone was saying,
No,
Well, could it come
no, because Kurt Cobain died in 94.
I was saying Kurt Cobain died in 1994.
it came.
That was off.
out-
That was off. Nevermind.
It came out after Carol left Earth in '89. So someone who was saying, "How the fuck is that song in her subconscious with the Supreme Intelligence?"
Her and Samuel L. Jackson, as they were cruising around, were listening to Nirvana.
It's
I
possible.
don't know. So that's
dig it.
for me. The soundtrack is the biggest diss I have towards this movie. It did not fit. It was trying to be Guardians of the Galaxy. It didn't know where to put the songs at all. They did not. I get why they did. Thor Ragnarok did the same thing, but it knew where to fit the pop songs and the Led Zeppelin. But this movie did not. Like Nirvana song did not fit that scene at all. The song, what's the name of the song with the fight scene at the end?
I'm just a girl.
I'm Just a Girl. Yeah, that didn't fit at all.
And that's
I disagree.
agreeing.
No,
I disagree.
I think
The premise of No Doubt's Just a Girl is the fact that she's come out to basically say, fuck you, just because I'm a girl doesn't mean that I can't do it. And that's the point where she's coming out to basically beat the living shit out of them and take off the shackles and say, you know what, I'm going to own this.
it just didn't fit. It needed a style to it. That's the other thing I have for this movie. It didn't have a style at all. Very MCU, no flair from these directors at all. Like the action scenes were entirely boring.
I did have some problems with the action scenes, especially some of like the close up. It got a little jittery.
You can't see anything that's
Yeah.
happening.
Yeah, all the action scenes are
Yeah.
in dark.
Yeah.
It needed more of the Thor type of action scenes, or like we saw with Aquaman last year, bigger shots. Let the shit happen on the screen. Quit cutting.
Mm-hmm.
I hate when action scenes do that, but yeah, those are the biggest things for me. So
I enjoyed the music, but it was again.
it's a good soundtrack, but it doesn't
Uh-huh.
fit.
Yep.
Much like Suicide Squad, great soundtrack, did not fit within the movie.
Yep.
I think it fit when it was in the background, like they were just listening to it in the background, that type of thing. But no, I don't think it played into the story at all.
100% on board with this. This is exact. Yes.
I'm still gonna sit it on the fact that most of those songs came out before you did.
That has no warrant here.
That has all the warrant to
No,
it.
I know all those songs.
Now, wait. You like Guardians both soundtracks?
Yeah, that came out before you were born too.
Yeah.
Not all of them.
Most of them. Yeah. So the story. What'd you guys think of this overall storyline that was taking place? The origin of Captain Marvel.
It was good, not great.
I think at the beginning it got a little jittery because of the cutting back and forth, but at the same time too, I understood why. Like she herself, her subconscious, her memories were so scattered that's to me how they played the beginning of the movie. They're going back and forth, fronts and backs as she's trying to piece together all these memories. So we in sense are kind of living through that with her. So are there times where it's like it's a little rough on editing, going back and forth into the different ages and stuff like that? But I get it, and so that's where it's like, okay, yeah, there's some, but I will accept it.
I think part of the problem is this is the 21st MCU movie.
Yep.
How many origin stories are in there? And how many different ways can you tell an origin story?
Right.
I think that's what they were running into. So I like where she already has her powers when we first meet her.
Right.
I like that aspect. As you said, I think the jumping back and forth was a little rough.
It was a little rough, but
But I think
it was
fit.
necessary.
Yeah, it was necessary. Like no one knows who Captain Marvel is.
At this point, neither does she.
No.
Right.
And it fits. Mm-hmm. One thing I really liked is, I don't know about you guys, I hated the trailers.
Oh, I just stopped watching the trailers because I knew I was going to be going anyway.
Even the first trailer, I hated it.
Because it's
Brie Larson, like, I'm like, what is going on? Like, she is a fantastic actress, and all her line deliveries in the trailer are just wooden and boring.
what did you think of her in the movie?
She's fucking fantastic in the movie. I'm like, where are these takes for that? They
didn't want to throw all the good stuff into the trailer.
I
Like like your dog movie you bitched about.
Yeah, exactly. Fucking dog movies. I think she fits. She's gonna fit perfectly once she meets the rest of the Avengers. Mm-hmm. She has that wit to her, and it kind of helps with how she interacts with other characters.
Oh, she was fucking snarky.
Very snarky, and I like that she's super confident. Like she ain't gonna take shit from Tony Stark or anyone else. Like,
Oh no, she's gonna blast the shit out of him.
yeah. I think that's going to fit perfectly going into these future Marvel movies, is having her right at the top, leading this team. If that's the way they're going to go, and they kind of pushed, I think she's going to be perfect for it.
Oh yeah.
She's gonna get the Russo brothers treatment where they took Cap and elevated him to a new level, and Doctor Strange elevated him to a new level. Scarlet Witch. I think she's just gonna be. Going
Why don't they just let the Russos just
Make every MCU
make them all? You know, they get it.
Yeah.
They genuinely get it. You know, and sprinkle some Taika Waititi in there, you know, whatnot. But you know, for the most part, I mean, even Peyton Reed. As much as you disagree and you're not as much of a fan as the Ant-Man movies, you know, is giving the directors, the ones that are just the oddball, screwball, kind of like, why would you be, and hey, you get a good movie that way.
I think Peyton Reed, and I don't even know who the directors are on this, two people, fall into the same pitfalls for each other. They don't add any flair.
Ryan Fleck and Anna Boden.
Yes.
Yeah, they don't add any of their own flair to it. Taika Waititi definitely has his own flair.
Oh yeah, you know that's a Taika movie.
Guardians has its own flair. The Captain America into Avengers both have even different type of flair with the Russos behind it. I don't think the Ant-Man didn't really. This one didn't. I think it kind of, for me, this movie's going to fall right into that Ant-Man-ish category. Doctor Strange.
You're an ish.
Ish. I'm an ish. Not to say it's a perfectly awesome Marvel movie.
Yeah.
So what did you guys think of the MCU connection to it? Because you have to watch every MCU movie before you watch this one, pretty much. Like, if you haven't watched Guardians of the Galaxy, you're going to be fucking confused.
Well, actually, there's one aspect of the movie I am confused about.
Okay, let's talk through it.
Being that this is the 90s, right? The fucking Tesseract. Like, for me, I literally left the theater. I'm like, I have to go back and rewatch the first Captain America. Because I'm trying to, like, make the timeline make sense to me.
So, in the first Captain America, the Tesseract falls into the ice.
Right.
Much like Captain America did.
Right.
And they found him right around
And
the
that was
same
in the
time.
40s.
Yes. Tony Stark's dad, Howard Stark, found the Tesseract.
Right away, pretty much.
Yes.
Still in the 40s.
Yeah. So at some point he had met met Marvel, the who's the actress that plays her?
Annette Bening.
Annette Bening. She had met Howard Stark at some point to have gotten that Tesseract.
Yeah.
50, 67, right somewhere in there. So maybe when she came to Earth for the first time, and it's
because I was trying to remember, like, the last time I remember the Tesseract is when freaking Red Skull gets shot into the sky and whatnot, and then it goes down into the water. I was like, okay, now I'm trying to just line this all up, because at one point I'm like, is there more than one Tesseract here I don't know about?
No, it's just, it kind of leaves it up to your interpretation for now.
For now.
It'll be explored in some TV series or
So
something.
S.H.I.E.L.D. has had it the whole time.
Yes.
It's gone different places within them, I guess. I don't know.
Fucking cat.
I got a question I want you to help me with. So Red Skull gets shot up into space, and then Tesseract melts through the ship. I've never seen it melt through anything else. Do you guys know what I mean, though?
Yeah.
What's the deal with that?
Maybe because he was trying to harness the power.
It was activated.
It was
Right.
ready to, yeah. He was ready to
That's
do
why it
something with
melted.
it.
It wasn't being regurgitated.
Yeah. It wasn't just sitting there.
I fucking love
Yeah.
Goose.
So, what did you guys think of... Okay, let's just jump to Goose. What did you guys think of Goose?
Perfect.
I love the fact that we finally know why fucking Nick Fury has the eye patch.
Do you like that?
Yes, I'm
do.
completely okay with that.
I do.
Because
I do, because it is an alien.
well,
If
not
it was just a cat, no.
no.
I like that it's...
I'll spin it this way: alien or not. Which, by the way, the whole when you realize that he's an alien and fucking creeping out the scroll. Oh my god, that was hilarious. That's not a cat.
Yeah.
But no, you spent these last 20 some odd movies of Nick Fury with the bad eye, the scratches, you know the mystery of why does Nick Fury have this eye patch and everything like that, right? Even if fucking Goose was just a straight up like alley cat, nothing special about him, and fucked up Nick Fury's face, for him to be like, it would be like thing. So I've got this story. He's not going to tell you the right story.
See, I think, okay, you're talking me into more liking this a little more. Because the big line from Winter Soldier is, last time I trusted someone, I lost my eye.
Right.
He trusted that cat, that fucking cat.
That's
so
the last thing he said to the cat, right? I believe he says, "I'm gonna trust you not to eat me."
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
it's perfectly way in the MCU to explain why he lost his eye.
And it's the kind of thing where, in the realm of where his character is, that is the kind of secret he's gonna be like, I ain't fucking telling anybody how I lost my eye.
Yeah.
I like Coulson's line too. Can't even remember what he said, but like, so the Kree burned your eye out because you won't give up the Tesseract,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
That's what made it perfect. Is Coulson saying that?
Yeah, even Coulson, who's his right hand, will be, it's like, I have no idea.
Yeah. I love Coulson in this movie. I love anytime we can get more Coulson.
There might have been a couple times that, just from glimpse, and maybe it just wasn't seeing it because maybe it was my 3D glasses kind of thing. But there was a couple of instances where I looked at a little bit of the de-aging and I'm like, his hairline looked a little messed up or something like that.
They could have de-aged Clark Gregg a little more.
But what I imagine probably is the case is that since he was the super supporting character, is more of the de-aging, the time and money went to Sam Jackson.
Yes.
Which totally makes sense.
And he looks awesome.
He looks freaking amazing.
So let's jump to, I want to jump to like the alien stuff. What you guys, did you like the Skrull Kree type of dynamic that we got.
I did.
I did because it wasn't what I was expecting.
Okay.
Just because, again, I never read any of the Scree, Kroll, Marvel, anything like that when I was reading comic books. But, you know, I go into this movie with the expectation of the Skrulls are the bad guy. Mm-hmm. And then when you get that moment where you're like, oh shit. And then you realize that, you know, who the actual bad guy is. And you're just like, okay, this changes everything. And I love that dynamic about it. They did not allude to that at all, you know, in promo or anything like that, you know, who's good, who's bad.
Oh, definitely. It was more of these green aliens, they're the bad guys. They look different. Mm-hmm. Captain Marvel's the good guy with her team of you know, similar people. So I like that they didn't spoil it.
At least they appreciate that they give you an explanation of why she knows to punch the old lady.
Yeah. For me, I love the Kree and Skrull stuff because I love the Kree Skull storyline. Mm-hmm. That's one of my favorite, like, overall big storylines kind of in Marvel, because the Secret Invasion stuff that I hope we get into Phase 4, where the Skrulls have infiltrated the Avengers type of thing. I hope we get that in
Do you think we still can? Because now the Skrulls are good guys, and so...
Here's the thing. I don't think they're not good guys. Neither the Kree aren't bad guys either. Humans aren't all good or all bad. That's just a single race. That's what I think they play perfectly.
You're just thinking that the Ben Mendelsohn side of the Skrulls happen to be the refugees, the good ones, and there are still bad ones still to come around.
And they're not all good either. I mean, they killed a lot of people to get to where they wanted to go. Like, they were just trying to help their family and their race out. Mm-hmm. Like, so I think that's what they play perfectly, is that humans aren't all good, Skrulls aren't all good, Kree aren't all good. Mm-hmm. So I hope we get that invasion storyline.
Maybe.
Which I have a question I want to ask later on that. So,
7.
Yes.
What did you think of Ben Mendelsohn?
I thought I thought even more than Goose, he was the best part.
Yeah.
The most standout.
Well, and the part, you know, is, you know, when he was in human form and he was playing the actual boss and whatnot, I was like, oh, cool. I'm like, I like Ben Mendelsohn. And I, you know, just generally good, you know, actor and whatnot. And then when, you know, he's in Skrull form, I'm like trying to figure out, because he adds the accent, or modifies his accent, I should say, right? And I'm like, God, I want to know who's playing the Skrull version of him. I'm like, oh shit, it's himself.
It's him, yeah.
I'm okay with this.
And I like the fact he actually gets to be funny.
Oh my God.
Like, he needs to be funny in movies more now. Like, he's been typecast too much in that villain role, which I think fits perfectly into the kind of twist that this movie has.
Yes.
He's not the bad guy. And I think that plays perfectly into this.
Just the dining room scene where everybody's just laid back. Oh my God.
Yeah.
That was so great. I could be your boss. I could just do that. That, you know, I'll be good there.
Yeah. This is your science guy?
Oh my God. You know, it's because it's not on Earth. It's up in space. You know, it's just physics.
Yeah. For me, I saw the Kree and Skrull turn coming a mile away because I know the comics. I didn't see the Tesseract thing coming at all.
No,
I don't know if anyone could see that coming.
No, but I do like how they kind of take it full circle, though.
Yeah, I like it fits where the MCU is. And one of my favorite lines from this movie, which is another character that's from other MCU movies, is Ronan the Accuser showing up.
Lee Pace looked weird without the makeup, though.
On his face,
like the
black
war paint stuff.
Yeah.
Yes.
He needs the black paint to look good. Otherwise, just that blue.
He just looks blue-faced.
All of the Kree to me looked off because they just basically look like blue humans.
It's pretty much what they are.
Well, I understand that's what I get, but our first and only introduction prior to this essentially was Guardians with Lee Pace, with the war paint and everything like that. So you kind of have this weird aesthetic that you're used to seeing. Mm-hmm. So to see all the Kree just basically blue, I mean, okay, and I take that back, with the exception of the
Digimon Hanzo.
Yes, with the exception of him, he's the only other Kree that you see. But you can't really tell the blue in him.
This also helps if you watch. This is further Marvel Cinematic Universe. You need to watch Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. to help understand the Kree more. Because the Kree are a big part of that storyline.
Yeah, but only during the...
3, 4, 5, third season, fourth season, fifth season, they're kind of like big characters in that. Have you watched Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.?
Well, yeah, I had. I stopped before Ghost Rider. Ghost Rider was season 4.
Yes.
And
Second-
because Tahiti was when they figured out that the Kree was involved.
Yeah.
And
So
but
the
that
third
was,
season is a lot of Kree.
but
Now-
all they really showed or all they basically said is that the Kree existed and that's how they were able to save Coulson.
So in this last season, the team goes to space, and the Kree are out there with them. So it's a lot of Kree stuff within this last season of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Well, maybe I'll get it on Disney Plus later this year.
It's on Netflix right now. What was I talking about? Oh, one of my favorite lines comes from Ronan the Accuser, where he's like, "We'll be back for the weapon," and they're like, "Oh, the Tesseract? No, the woman."
I didn't understand that line, but you
Because
go ahead.
for me, it makes her super powerful. They're like, "No, we don't want that Infinity Stone. We want her. Like she's more powerful than an Infinity Stone to people who know what Infinity Stones are."
Well,
That's a big character thing for her.
my question is what was it about the modification of that engine that turned her human into superhuman that didn't just, erase her from existence?
She was just there.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. I don't look too deep into it. I don't care about origin stories. I would have been fine if they never explained it or showed it. It just happened. Like Spider-Man, he's just a kid that got bit by a spider.
Fucking spiders.
Yeah. And it's what you do with that power, and I think that helps this kind of story.
So now the Ronin line. So is that setting up a sequel, Captain Marvel 2? Because, like, I don't know, she's off Earth, she's kicking Kree ass, or what the hell is
Well,
Ronin
I was gonna
gonna
say
do?
we're gonna have. I mean, especially if they're gonna keep Lee Pace as Ronin, they've got a plenty of timeline to work with.
Yeah.
Because I mean, they can always still backdate to before Guardians, to before the Avengers.
See, I don't think they're going to go there. I think
I'm saying they could.
They could. It is open for something with
Because there's
Ronan.
there's amount of time that is unexplored.
See, Ronan, I can't take serious anymore. He's the guy that lost in a dance-off. Like, I can't fucking take him seriously anymore. No, I think once we get Captain Marvel 2, they're forward-moving right now. Like, she'll be in present day, I think.
We got to get a Captain Marvel 2 first.
150 million open week. We're getting a Captain Marvel 2. Yeah, any other things you guys want to throw out?
Yes,
Okay,
the Stan Lee cameo
obviously.
was
Ah,
fucking amazing. Now I understand why freaking Kevin Smith is blubbering mess.
Yeah, so the Stan Lee cameo where she's walking on the train trying to find the scroll hidden as the old woman. She comes across Stan Lee reading a script for Mallrats.
Yes, that was, and again because it's the 90s and whatnot. No, I'm sitting here going, fuck, this makes me want to literally go back and fucking watch Mallrats again. Mm-hmm. Except that there is one thing about the whole cameo though that the first thing I thought of was he must be really early stages of reading that script because he has a big ass beard he needs to grow out for the movie.
He's still working on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
But the big old smile. Oh, and then on top of that, not only did I thoroughly enjoy the Stan Lee cameo, I think, especially with Kevin Smith's response to it, is that for as much as he's been talking about comics and comic movies and been a fan of this or whatever, to have it come full circle for him with somebody who he considered a friend that he himself has worked with, I think was absolutely amazing. And I think that, this to me looks like something where it's Kevin Feige.
I've done that too.
Fuck. Where Kevin Feige is like, we know that this is the perfect time to do this, and we need that looked like something that Kevin Feige purposely put on there. This wasn't written in because of an afterthought or anything like that. It was, hey, you know what? This is something we need to do because we know that we might not get a chance to go forward with this again.
Yep.
The other thing is the intro when they modified the Marvel logo. Mm-hmm. You fucking want to cry.
I just about did. It was close. I was close.
'Cause
Everyone in our theater on Friday night, 8:00 screening, started clapping after.
Yep.
Yes.
Too.
I mean, it's one thing to have a movie where you get to the very end before everything starts rolling and says, like for what they did for like Paul Walker.
Yep.
Before the credits started rolling, said for Paul, whatever. They're like, fuck you, nope. Stan comes first, boom, change credits for Stan. Now let's go into the movie.
Mm-hmm.
I was so excited for that.
Beautiful.
It was great. One of my favorite Stan Lee cameos now.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yes.
Loved it. So let's talk about the post-credits scene, aka a scene from Avengers Endgame.
Do you think it's going to be do you think it's actually going to be a scene in the movie?
Oh,
Like they did like Captain America?
100%. The Russos did that scene. That's a scene from Endgame.
You sure?
100%.
Yeah.
I would put money on it. It was just like at the end of, I think it's Ant-Man, where they take a scene from Captain America Civil War, and that's their after-credit scene.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like when they do that.
It'll be cut differently, different camera angles, and there's probably...
Not necessarily, because the one he's talking about for Captain America was verbatim. That was literally cut right out of the movie.
There is like a 10 or 20 second window that was cut out.
Well, no, but I'm just saying
But, yeah.
the part that they
But,
show.
Yeah. So I think it'll be a little different, but yeah, otherwise I think
It's from the movie.
it's in the movie.
Yeah. See, I would rather have something teased. Like, tease a scroll on Earth or something like that. That's...
But the scrolls aren't on Earth.
That
Yeah,
four,
they are. They are.
4 scrolls show up on Earth at the beach, and you know about what happens to 3 of them.
And
So-
Ben Mendelsohn's character mentions that there's scrolls all over the universe.
Sure.
So there's probably scrolls already been on Earth.
Yep.
So,
They're hiding.
all right, let's run around. Out of 10, Brian.
Out of 10? We never rate anything out of 10.
Okay, out of 5.
Jesus. You're going to throw me underneath the bus like this.
Mix it up.
I'd give it a good solid 4.
3.5.
3.5. That's where I'm at. Yeah. So I want to leave with one final question.
Now I know exactly where the 0.5 comes from.
What's that?
You hate that fucking soundtrack.
Yeah, that's it.
I will say one thing. The first time I watched Infinity War, I left confused and disappointed. And now, after I've seen it like fucking almost 10 times, it's like the crowning jewel of the MCU.
So what you're saying is you need to go back and
I
rewatch
think
and pick up the little things you missed the first time.
my score will rise when the rewatch happens, so I believe. Most likely.
For me, Marvel movies, my score goes down.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, if I watch it and nitpick it. Yeah, it'll usually go down.
Well, it's because you're an asshole.
I am an asshole. So I want to leave us assholes with one question about this movie. And I want to make a kind of a bet on the air with it. Of all
Bet on the air?
Yeah.
We're not on the air.
We're on the air right now. Of all the Marvel characters, who do you think could be a Skrull in Phase 4?
I hope none, personally. Like, if we're talking like the main heroes who have their own solo movies and all that, I hope none, personally.
And it doesn't mean they started off as a Skrull. Just like there's an after credit. Let's say there's an after credit scene of Endgame, and it reveals
Dead Loki.
dead Loki. That's a cop out.
Well, then that way we can have a live Loki.
Yeah, but he already died, and he would have turned green into a Skrull at the end.
That's true. I'll go with Maria Hill if we're just taking any character.
Oh, that'd be fun.
I
I only say that because I want to see her legit get like into makeup and then like get all badass and start kicking people's ass.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of want to go big, but I don't want to go too big. I'm gonna go with like Hawkeye.
Yeah, we get
Hawkeye revealed as a Skrull. Because in the if
It would have to be post Avengers at least then when they change him out then.
it could be at any point. You can when you turn into a Skrull, you don't kill the actual human.
No, I understand that.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is that in Avengers, when Loki takes him over with the scepter, is he's under mind control. It does, as to say is that, that could have potentially screwed with the fact that, he was a Skrull. So I'm saying is that if it would have been Hawkeye, it would be post Avengers, post, the whole Loki taking over kind of thing.
It could be like the Ronin Hawkeye. Maybe that's why he's Ronin. Because he's a Skrull.
He's pissed off. His family's dead.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, sorry, they're not dead. They're dusted.
Yeah, so you got to pick. If they do, they're going big.
You think so, huh?
Because if you look at that storyline, Captain America is a Skrull. Like, that's the reveal.
Is that?
In
Oh,
the
maybe.
comics, or-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Maybe-
all of a sudden, like...
Maybe that's how they get Chris Evans out of his contracts.
Maybe.
Or retire his contract.
Like, I watched this Avengers cartoon from, like, 2010, 11, right around there. And their whole like second season is the Secret Invasion storyline, and there's an episode where like the final scene is like Captain America, and then he like forms into the Skrull, and you're like, oh shit, like how long has he been a Skrull? So they need to have a big reveal like that.
Nick Fury.
I think Nick Fury would be a good choice. So that was our spoiler discussion on Captain Marvel for us nerds, or opposite way maybe. Anyway, so if you guys have checked it out, make sure you let us know what you guys thought of it, and if we're wrong about some of this actual comic book stuff, let us know.
Because we probably are.
We probably are. So yeah, that's been the episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, we talked some Disney.
It's pretty much been, what, is there anything on there that wasn't Disney? Oh, Midsommar? Morbius?
Brightburn.
Okay, so 3 things out of...
And Suicide Squad.
Damn it, 4 things.
Damn Disney and superhero movies. Why do you have to take over everything? So, anyway, that's what we got for this week. You can check out our podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Google Play, and YouTube. And you can check us out on social media at Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Just Backlot 605. You'll find us. We're the only ones there with that.
That's kind of the point.
That's the point. If you're on those, make sure you use hashtag Schmuck Club.
Schmuck Club.
Which I don't think we brought up yet. We're just schmucks.
We're just 3 schmucks?
3 schmucks talking about comic book movies, because there's none of those on the internet.
No, nothing at all.
Anything you guys want to throw out that you're working on for the website right now?
Gone with the Wind will be up yesterday. I just figured I'd talk about Gone with the Wind since I recently saw it. So
you can check out our buddies at Midwest Movie Talk, Blake and Jameson. Check out their stuff. Check out Andy at Fat Dude Digs Flicks, and check us all out together at the Sioux Falls Film Community on Facebook.
Heck yeah.
Heck yeah. And we're going to have a little more news coming up, hopefully on a film club here in Sioux Falls.
Yeah, we're hopefully get that going here soon.
Yeah, so be on the lookout for that. We'll update you on the episodes coming up in the next few weeks.
Awesome.
Yeah, so next week we do got to plug quickly what we're going to talk about.
What are we going to talk about?
We're going to bring in a friend of the show, Dominic from Warwolf Productions here in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. He's an independent filmmaker, deals with the horror movies. So we're going to be talking about modern day horror movies.
You're going to just be like a happy as a pig and shit.
A kid in a candy store with that. Yes, exactly.
Bull in a china shop, probably.
Anyway, anything else we need to plug, Brian?
No, I think you actually rambled them off for, straight up pretty. You got your practice. You've been getting in front of the mirror again?
Yes, exactly. No, I need to plug my article that I'm going to be putting out this week. It's going to be called The Curious Case of Ben Affleck.
So
it'll be good.
Yeah, we're going to discuss the career of Ben Affleck because it's kind of been an up and down journey for him.
I'm kind of looking forward to his movie on Netflix coming out here.
And that's why. So that'll be coming out the same day his movie comes out.
Look at you go.
Look at that. I kind of planned that together. So Anyway, let's say goodbye.
Okay, bye. Bye.
And we'll see you next time on the Backlot of South Dakota.
Schmuck Club.
Woo!